Welcome to the stream, or welcome to the video. This is going to be another LOL coaching episode for my student DarknessSword1 over here. The video started a little bit late. I was having a little bit of trouble with that, so sorry about that. But yeah, we're gonna review Darkness Sword, his ganking pass, and how he's applying map pressure. Looks like right now he's trying to get a gank mid, which is good. Walking up, probably not the best, but that's okay. They did burn the flash there. What rank is his E right now? His E is only rank 1, so I couldn't have got too far, but pretty good gank. They got the flash burned. Let's see. Let's get everyone in order real quick. Alright. So this is good. He's going up top for the counter gank against the Nasus is pretty much gonna die though. He's kind of fated to die there. Alright. So one thing, like right now, he shouldn't be top lane. Nasus is gonna die. He should have, like, as soon as he died, just walk away, because Nasus is gonna teleport back up there for that CS anyway, like that. So kind of, just it's like a little thing, but it just uses up a little bit of your time when you don't just get away from him right away. You see Shyvana's your jungle. It's good you called for help, and you got your mid laner rotating, but looks like Shyvana just wants to be a little persistent here, so you're doing the right thing, just looking to go to your wolves instead. Because it's not worth the fight. You can't really fight the Shyvana too well. And she's going to get away. That's fine. It just happens sometimes, especially if you can't get your laners there in time. Nasus is chasing the Shyvana, which is just not going to get to her. I do like how you went Strength the Ages. Very good pickup on tank junglers at the moment. And just a good pickup overall. So, what I'm looking at in this game, you have a very late game, or mid to late game centric comp. With the amount of tanks that really need to scale their tankiness up on your team, with the Nasus, the Nautilus, with you, the Zac. And the very good mid and late game damage you're going to have out of this, more than likely going to be a blue Ezreal who needs time to stack his tier up. And the Fizz is, once he gets rolling, gets a kill or two, you can really start scaling up to those big items to start one-shotting anyone on the enemy team. So what your job is in a comp that's like yours, try and get the people who really need to get the ball rolling early, like this Ezreal, to start getting them ahead. And it's good what you're doing clearing a camp right here, because one thing about being a jungler, you just can't, wasting time just really screws you up. See, there's a ward right there. So say you walked up to the ward of the Triburst, they saw you, they can just wait out and waste your time. But since you took the camp beforehand, you didn't waste as much time, since you got that done before, and the camp will respawn sooner. There's not too much you can do at the moment, since you don't really have a scanner. You do have a pink ward, which you should definitely get down right away, which it might have been a better opportunity to put that into their Tribrush, the bot lane Tribrush, just because they didn't have one at the time, and that would help them out. They're getting ganked at bottom right now. You're not. I don't think you're gonna make it in time. You might. Shyvana's already level 6 because of the kill she got. So probably your best bet right now is to collect your buffs and start working towards hitting level 6. You're gonna get, looks like a pretty good gank off mid. Yeah. Alright, so I'm just going to pause it real quick. So you saw Shyvana bottom, you knew that she ganked bot, and she left. If you're watching the map, you saw that she left this direction. Now that could mean from it could mean that she either went up towards your red buff, or back towards the river. Now you didn't see her over in her in her side of the jungle when you invaded. So you can assume to yourself that, alright, she went to my red buff, because you didn't see her where she, under most circumstances, would be. So that's just a little jungler tip to keep in your head. You gotta just make sure you pay attention to the minimap. Definitely, especially pay attention to where the enemy jungler is. You want to be able to relay that information to your team. So say, hey, I didn't see her in her jungle. She probably just stole my red buff. So that like gives your top laner information to say, hey, top lane's safe for now. It's okay for him to be pushed up that far, because he is pushed up really far right now. And it's good just to make sure you keep the flow of information steady. Alright, let's get this moving again. You are behind at the moment. It looks like your Fizz is going for a play 1v3. That is really, really not smart. Yeah, he's probably going to die here. This is a 4v1. Hopefully he'll make it out alive, but yeah, just keep the flow information steady. If you see your teammate trying to do something a little crazy, make sure you ping him back. Gonna flash. And he's dead. So it's already been 8.5 minutes in. You've made one good gank mid lane. But you definitely want to start hitting up these bottom lanes. If you know that things are warded like bot lane, switch out your yellow trinket for a scanner earlier on. That'll definitely help you out in getting off some of these ganks. You don't have a refillable potion right now, which I would definitely recommend next time. Buy a refillable potion. It's really good on junglers like Zach. And alright, you live there, which is good. Oh, yeah, never mind, you didn't. But you just got a little overconfident there. You took some minion damage you shouldn't. You know, it happens. You just gotta be careful, especially with someone like Cho'Gath who has 2 CCs. He will, you know, keep you in place, and you won't be able to use your escape ability. So watch out for Cho'Gath. Something else that'll help you out as a jungler and help your team out: time people's flashes, especially if you notice it yourself. Say, hey, Cho'Gath's flash, he flashed at like 9 minutes 50 seconds. So you know for the next 5 minutes, you know he is yours to basically just gank freely. It helps you out a lot as a jungler, because if the flash is down, even though you trade a flash, it's okay. Just make sure you punish that when there is an opening. Alright, so Fizz got a good roam top. You're over here picking up blue buff. That's good. Definitely, next time someone like Zach, refillable potion is a little bit better. It just saves you a lot of money, and you have a lot of innate sustain already. Fizz is going to get soloed out right there. So what the red team has a lot of, they got the pink wards up, and you don't currently have a pink ward. So you definitely... Alright, let's see how this fight goes. Toronto's just going to ult out, but they have the help of the mid laner, Cho'Gath, and the top laner, so that's kind of rough. Alright, but y'all should make it out fine here, hopefully. Alright, but, he needs to get the hell out of there. Oh, shoot. Yeah, he's just gonna eat you. Next time, don't move up like that, friend. You, he was kind of in a bad position. You didn't have blobs. There's not too much you could have done there. Even if I know some people will be like, hey, you didn't help me there. Just, you know, sometimes situations are going to be bad. You just kind of got to let it go. Don't die also, because that just makes the situation worse. Situations like that, you just got to recognize, hey, you're screwed, man. I can't really help you. So I know it's good to be a good guy jungler, and you know, try and help out as much as you can. But that time he was just, there was nothing you can do. So their team also is sort of, it's definitely a scaling comp too. You have the Devourer, Shyvana, and the Cho'Gath, who's going to scale up with Zerata Ages, and the Jax, who's just going to become a monster late game. So you really got to start trying to make something happen with your lanes. It's good to clear your jungle. Practice that I like to do and a lot of other people do. Clear one side of your jungle, look for a gank. If there's nothing there, then start moving your way up or down the map depending on which side you come from when you leave base. So just always, you should always be getting gold and searching for opportunities to gank. So say, let me just pause it real quick. So say you recalled after your first clear, like you clear the entire jungle, and then you start heading bottom. You want to clear these Krugs and then look for an opportunity bottom. Alright, if there's no opportunity, clear your Raptors. Look for an opportunity mid or bot. If there's nothing, then just start working your way up top and just keep repeating that question to yourself until you get all the way around the map and until you're back again. So it's just something to keep in mind. If you're having trouble with ganks, buy more pink wards. It just helps clear wards, keeps your vision up. Watch out for Shyvana, or watch out for the enemy jungler. Yeah, because this Shyvana has been all around your jungle. She's been just pretty much everywhere on the map right now. This is going to be kind of rough because you're 2 levels down. You can't really fight the Shyvana like that. Doesn't look like you have blobs either. I don't know. I can't really see. Yeah, your team went in a little overextended there.
Rampage.
And looks like top lane he dove Nasus dove him. Alright, so you're having a rough game right now. Your team overall is having a really rough time. It's at this point you gotta really tell yourself and tell your team, alright, we are down. It's gonna take us a while to really get back in this game. Let's just farm. Yeah, the best thing to do right now is try and cooperate with the team. Say, hey everyone, don't make any aggressive plays. Nasus, please, you know, I know you thought you could kill him top, just don't dive top lane again. Really just keeping yourself and your team in check to not make crazy plays. Like, it's good what they're doing down here bottom, 3-manning this Vel'Koz. Because they're probably going to get the kill here. I would hope so. Alright, well they got the kill. But you trade that 1 kill for a top lane tower, which is it's okay because you're still trying to make these plays to get back in the game. It's just at the same time you did lose the tower, but that's okay. Mostly in the case because this is Nasus, this will just turn this lane into a farm lane if the lane ever gets pushed. Right now they're on dragon. No, don't really ever kick yourself about losing the first dragon or even losing the first 2 dragons. It's not that big a deal. It's not something to die over. Now once it gets to 4th and 5th dragon, that's definitely something that you should always, or at least trying to contest most of the time. But that's okay. You lost 1 dragon. It's not going to kill you. Let me make sure this is recording real quick. That would kind of suck if I did this entire video and it wasn't recording. Alright, something you might want to drop this blue buff over the Fizz. Okay, it's good. It looks like he's coming by. Right now your Nasus is up pretty far, and he looks like he's actually going to get ganked. If you ever... So something to think about when you're playing a lot of these junglers. When you're moving in between camps, you don't really need to look at your champion, or at least you don't need to sit there and stare actively at your champion's walking animation. as you move from like red buff to raptors. This is, there you go. But it's so you shouldn't be really fighting as much right now. You just don't have the damage or the tankiness to survive. So yeah, let me just make a point real quick. Yeah, you just don't force fights like this when you know you're behind, because it'll happen things like the Varus. Yo, got him really, really low, but you're just not there yet. You're not to the point where you can get that last 100 HP off of him. So you just have to recognize, hey, we can't make this play. Watch out for some CC that they're going to throw at us. So just be like, ping your team back. Don't do it like aggressively to piss them off, but you just make sure you know this. Make sure they know that this is a bad choice. We can't fight them right now. Just clear the waves, things like that. But back to the point I was making about map awareness. You really want to in between camps, you don't need to sit there and look at your walking animation back and forth between camps. I mean, it's good to glance at yourself, make sure there's no wards that you can clear, enemy junglers that are around you. But you really want to be looking at the mini-map, or what I like to do, I will click on the map, drag it, so I can look at each of the different, see how my lanes are doing specifically. Like, look how they're, I'll hit tab, I'll see how the CS is going, see which lane I can think about investing my time in, like a couple minutes down the road after I'm done clearing camps or something like that. So definitely in between camps, keep your eyes on the minimap. You want to know if you can counter gank, if where the jungler is at. You want to ping out if you see someone about to do something kind of crazy, things like that. So it's just definitely a small exercise to help you keep your eyes peeled pretty much on the map. So right now it looks like you just completed your Sun to Hulk, which is good. That's your first step to getting tanky. But at the same time, you still got a pretty long ways off, especially with the Shyvana, who's almost 2 items with her Titanic Hydra. Your best bet to second item, in my opinion, would definitely be a Locket. There's magic damage on every champion in varying amounts on the enemy team, so Locket would just help overall for your team. Right about now, for you, it would probably be best if you just hung around mid lane. Not to go in, you'd probably just be better off in the lane, helping them clear. You definitely, if you go in, it's probably going to end badly, but it might. Looks like you're actually going to maybe pick up this kill, but no, they turned it around on you. You did pick up 1 kill, but at the same time, it was a 1 for 2. I think they picked up a kill top lane earlier. Yeah, they did on the Nasus. So it's... And this comes kind of from experience, too, and just playing. You can't force things really hard when you're behind. If you want to get back in the game, it's gonna take a lot of plays. Okay, that's not good. But it's gonna, whenever you're playing from behind, you have to look and take little advantages and then work them up into big advantages. So say if I'm gonna use the jungle instance, say you die level 4 in the jungle and you lose your double buffs to a laner or something. Well, at that point, you are a little bit behind, and that kind of sucks and everything. But what you do from that point, you definitely power farm. You get a lot. It's when you start getting a lot more farm, trying to farm up more than the enemy jungler, and you'll still get your items pretty much around the same time that the enemy jungler is. So taking a little advantage by getting more CS and focusing more on that. That's pretty good. You might... Nah, he's gonna get away. But And also another thing, when playing from behind, you gotta really, more often than not, you want to be able to have a man advantage in any situation. So if you see one of them, you want to bring at least one of them in your jungle that you have warded. You want to bring at least 2 or 3 of your teammates over to help out. Now that's a really good knockup, but again, you're in alone at the moment, and they're just going to kite backwards. Shyvana's in kind of deep, but again, they have just so much damage and tankiness right now. This is going to end up picking up another kill to trade, but 1 for 3 is definitely not something that's going to work out. And all the meanwhile, Jack's split push from top. I will say another thing that helps out. You definitely, next time you play this champion, definitely buy a refillable potion. You bought a lot of potions since the beginning of the match, and that'll just save you so much gold. And plus, you already got a decent amount of sustain in the jungle anyway with your passive. So a refillable potion would definitely help you out. Next time, what I would recommend, since they have a decent amount of CC, I would go like an early, like a second item after your Cinderhulk, get Merc Treads, because if you're jumping a fight and you're snared by Varus for a second, I think it's a second and a half, I don't exactly remember at the moment, and then you get just silenced by Cho'Gath, you jump in the fight and you're not able to do anything. So that really that just hurts your pressure. That really would help out more if you just got the Merc Treads, and it would give you the magic resist, some good early magic resist against their team. Something I can definitely say, put a lot more pressure towards your scaling lanes earlier on. Nasus, I probably wouldn't gank that lane too much. Well, I know that kind of contradicts what I said. It's just, I would wait a little bit to gank for Nasus, like maybe until he gets at least level 6 or 7 or so, just so he can get some stacks under his belt and have his ultimate. But I would gank more for the Ezreal Nautilus, just because the pure amount of CC and damage that they have, even before the tier and that gets stacked up. To do that, you would definitely need to get maybe an earlier scanner, or just buy more pink wards. And the rule of thumb, really, for junglers with pink wards is, if you don't have one on the map and you have an open inventory space, and one more condition, and it doesn't inhibit like a big item purchase for you, buy a pink ward. So this is good right here. You're doing exactly what I was saying earlier. You're 4v2ing them right there. So it's giving you a really good opportunity to get some kills. You just got some shutdown gold. Alright, so since you got these kills right here, which were really good by you and your team, looks like you're actually going to pick up another one. Very good, very good. So since you just picked up 3 kills like that, you really want to push mid as like 4 or 5 and just get these towers down. You want to start getting some of this global gold and really start putting yourself back in this game. And you can definitely take this tower. If Shyvana walks up to you, your team can just kill him. Okay. Yeah, and just goon her. There you go, good kill. Looks like you're gonna get blobbed though. Yeah, the kill on Shyvana could have been a little bit cleaner. Next time, you just gotta recognize that you were taking tower aggro and maybe just back out. But that's just like a little error. That's just not that big a deal. That's okay. But your team and you had the right idea to push mid. That was the right choice. Just after she flashed, you just gotta be careful about who's managing tower aggro and things like that. Little things. It looks like they're gonna take Baron here. There's not really anything your team can do to contest besides maybe an Ezreal ult out from left field.
Red team has slain Baron Nashor.
So what you did good earlier on when you got those like 3 or 4 kills. After that, you push mid. Also another good point. Good thing to do. But what you also want to do is move up your ward line. When you get more pressure from getting a kill, you really want to move up your wards in the jungle so you can see more area than just the area directly outside of your base. That just helps you out so much. And sorry if the screen's going a little crazy. I'm just bringing up some other points next to me. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, another point you were trying to figure out how to transition. I'll bring that up in a second after this. This is good. You're getting a good catch on the Shyvana right there a little bit. You're not gonna kill her though, it looks like, but it was a good effort. You tried there. But let me answer your question real quick on how to transition to different stages of the game. So you got 3 main parts of the game. You have the laning phase, mid game, and late game. You could break those phases up like even more, which I do to myself, but I'm going to just keep it to those 3 for now. During laning phase, as a jungler, you want to just be keeping wards down on the map, looking after the enemy jungler, and farm your way through the map consecutively while looking for a lane to gank. So always, every time, just keep that in your head. Every time while you're doing a camp, or even in between camps. Alright, I just cleared this camp. Are there any ganking opportunities? If not, go to the next camp. So that should be your thought process during the laning phase. During the mid-game phase, you should really start coordinating teleport ganks from your top laner to like 4-man bottom, or get a gank off mid, 3v1. You should if you feel comfortable enough doing it, getting deep wards in the enemy jungle. That would help you out to keep vision of the enemy team. And you also, even if you don't feel like you can gank someone to get a kill, if you just something that would help you get pressure in the lane, just say you see the enemy jungler top and your bottom. If you want, you can go bottom with your bot lane and just force down the tower. And if they pressure you too much, you can probably try and kill them or get something done there. So just little things. You want to be able to start pushing towers in the mid game. That's one of your main goals, to start and pressuring around the dragon and things like that. In the late game, as a jungler, especially on a jungler like Zac, your main goal for the comp that you have would be to initiate, but it kind of goes back and forth. Your main goal should be to keep your carries alive, but if you find a good initiation, then go for it. Not every initiation you should go for, because say you do go in and you get a really good initiation, but then Shyvana flanks and kills her AD carry, and then your fight is pretty much over. So part of that comes from keeping vision up around where you're trying to fight, just keeping wards up in general. Maybe next time go for a poacher's knife. That would help you and your team keep some vision up. That way you can make those decisions like, hey, I think it's a 4v3. I think I can go in. In which case, since maybe you didn't have a ward up at the time, it was actually a 4v5, and they were hiding in a bush that wasn't warded. So, some of the main things I have to say: keep wards up. Really start looking at your map all throughout the game. As a jungler, we're kind of a poor breed of League of Legends players sometimes. So you want to really keep in mind, how can I get the most amount of gold in the shortest amount of time, and how can I impact my lanes? So you really want to you just want to think, all right, get this camp, look for a gank opportunity, and just back and forth like that. So just things like that. That'll give you a good good gold and things like that through the game. Definitely just try and help your team out as much as you can by peeling, warding, and pinging. Communication is absolutely key. So yeah, just try and communicate to your team and tell them your opinions on things about, like, hey, that's maybe not a good idea, we shouldn't do that. And just keep your voice active, because just talking in a game really gets morale to a good point. And it just keeps the flow of information steady, so you can use it. You can abuse someone if their flash is down, things like that. A lot of I'm kind of repeating things I know I said earlier in the video, but just to keep it fresh in your mind. So that's about it. I'd like to say thank you for watching, and I hope this video helped you out. And have a great day.